Blessings and welcome to the path to freedom. This path, this journey that we get to be on as we are setting ourselves free to be in ever expanding love and joy and harmony, to be in ever expanding abundance and wholeness. As we're setting ourselves free from the small, limited thoughts, perceptions, paradigms, narratives, beliefs, stories, opinions, and judgments that is hindering us from knowing, from being the peace that we are, the love that we are, the harmony that we are, so that we may more and more and more, over and over and over again, transform our lives forever and for the better, so that we may continue to soar, to shine, to glow, regardless of conditions and circumstances. That we get to set ourselves free to be in ever expanding love and joy and peace and harmony, independently of what is going on around us and even within us. We still get to be in peace and love and joy. So my name is Daniel Roquillo, and I'm very happy that you are here. I'm very happy that I am here as we continue to explore what it means to be walking this path, as we continue to explore how to cultivate a way of life, because that's really what this is. This is not a one and done thing. This is not something that happens overnight, but this is the awakening or the expanding enlightenment or the expansion of our consciousness. It happens most of the time incrementally, moment by moment, as we continue to make higher and higher choices, as we continue to be more and more aware, more and more mindful, as we continue to strengthen our presence muscles and our attention muscles. The awakening, the transformation happens gradually. Today we are exploring a topic related to one of the pillars of freedom, the unconditional trust and surrender pillar. And I believe the topic for today is we never have the full picture. We never have the full picture. And as so often, this is very relevant for me and my life as I'm moving through things, as I'm growing through things. A few months ago, me and my family made a big move from Sweden to Spain. We'd been planning it for about a year. And I've realized since coming here that I was sort of naive in believing that once we got here, it was going to be a smooth ride. But it hasn't turned out that way. There's been so many things that have coming into our awareness, the adjusting and the adapting to a completely new culture and society and a new way of life, a new language. It has been quite difficult, really, to the point our kids, they haven't really adjusted that well. One of them, from day one, she's been very adamant about not wanting to be here. She does not want to adjust to this life. She doesn't want to live here. She misses Sweden tremendously. And the other, he's more okay with being here, but lately he's starting to wanting to go back as well. And so we taking absolutely their feelings and their experiences into consideration, adding other experiences into our consideration, we made the decision a few days ago to go back in about 6 months. And obviously, when we do go back, when we have this experience under our belts, so to speak, my perception of it will be completely different. But I cannot help, the mind cannot help wondering what the purpose of this trip was. All the effort, all the time, all the energy, uprooting myself, the kids, from their very comfortable and very good life in Sweden, putting them through this experience, only to go back about a year later, almost a year later. I don't feel that it's a failure. I can't help wondering why in the first place. And here's where the topic comes in. And so this is not really about me, but this is a very general question. I get that a lot. I get this a lot. Why is this happening? Whatever it might be it the outcome of the US election, be it wars in some places on the planet, be it more individual or localized experiences and events. Why is this happening? If there is a benevolent, loving presence, what is God's plan with all of this? So that's really what we're talking about here. That's really what we're addressing here in this talk. And the simple answer is that we never know why. We never, because we don't have the full picture. We never have the full scope of anything. We have bits and pieces. We have brief glimpses. We have our point of view. We have our perspective. But our perspective is based upon what our physical senses tell us and inform us. So we need to balance our perception with the truth that we're dealing with one presence. We're dealing with one mind. We're dealing with one intelligence that knows all there is to know. I mean, we're here in this dimension. We're dealing with linearity. I mean, I can say that we started this journey on that date, on that day, and we got here on that date, on that day, and we're going back on that date, on that day. So there's the past, and then we have that which is here now, and then we have some future moments. So this is linear. Our experience is linear. But spirit, this benevolent, loving presence, God, the universe, it is not linear. It knows all there is to know. It sees all there is to see. So there's a grand scheme, and it knows absolutely what needs to happen and how it needs to happen and when it needs to happen for it to express more of itself in us and through us, and thus for us to continuously allow for the next great iteration and version of who know what we are. So these quandaries and conundrums and questions that the mind conjures up, while they may be interesting, while they may seem valid, they aren't really all that important at all. Because it doesn't really matter why anything happens. We can always trust the three pillars. We can always lean on the three pillars of trust and surrender. Where the one pillar is that this benevolent, loving presence, it is all there is. There's an allness. There's a oneness. It is fully present in every space and place. No space nor place where it is not. We can always trust the second pillar of trust, that it is benevolent, it is always good, it is always for itself. And as it is all there is, it means that it is always for everything. It is always seeking to reveal more of itself, to come into ever greater and grander expressions in us and through all of creation. We can always know that. We can always lean into that. And then the third pillar of trust and surrender, which is the perfection with which it expresses itself. That there is no chance, there is no luck, there is no randomness, there are no mistakes. There's only divine and perfect action happening, only divine and perfect activity happening, divine and perfect timing happening. As it is eternally guiding and leading and moving itself into the next iteration. And while we have our free will, we can live in full accordance with thy will be done, continuously allowing for intuition and inspiration to guide and lead and move us, going with the flow of life and flowing with the go of life. Or we can choose to live in a different way, where we seek to have our way. Not thy will be done, but my will be done. But regardless, sooner or later, we're all being moved into expansion. We're all being moved either through suffering or through harmonious release. We're all being moved toward releasing and letting go of that which no longer serves, the small and limited. Right? So, as I'm finding myself in this space, and as I'm hearing the mind asking, why were we guided to move here, to go here in the first place? Only to realize after a few months that we wanted to go back. I don't know why. But I can still trust that all is well. I can still trust that something wonderful is happening. I can still trust that everything is working for the highest good, for my highest good, for our highest good, as individuals, as a family, and for the highest good of all of creation. And we can still trust, and I'm still trusting. I'm treating my mind to it. I'm not quite there yet. But we can still trust that perfect preparation and unfolding is always happening. Meaning, it was necessary for us to have this experience so that the next iteration of who and what we are may emerge. And I know for myself that coming here, for me personally, was such a gift and a blessing, because it allowed me to reinvent my life. It allowed me to reinvent myself in such a way that wasn't quite possible for me back in Sweden. Because there were traditions and there were habits and we had built a way of life back there that was much more difficult to change had we still been there than absolutely breaking clear of that life, having a clean cut, allowing that life to dissolve so that we could begin again. And that's exactly what I've been doing here. I've been very fortunate to be able to really create a new way of life since coming here. There's been a lot of challenges. I'm not gonna hide those. I'm not gonna pretend as though there hasn't been. There's been a lot of challenges, a lot of challenges adjusting, a lot of challenges me releasing and letting go, because I realized, once again, I was sort of naive coming here, but I realized once we had sort of landed here that although we had left Sweden, I did bring myself in the sense that the choices that I habitually was making back in Sweden, they didn't just disappear just because I moved here. But I actively and very consciously and very diligently has been invited to release these and exchange these, up level these choices and these ways of being. So that alone was worth the trip for me. But as this wasn't just about me, as we are, as there is one whole, there are gifts and blessings, although not as a parent or a parent, for the whole of our family. Bottom line, we don't know why anything is happening. We will never know why anything is happening, and it's not even important. It's not even of our business why anything is happening. The real question for us to ask is either what good is here that I cannot presently see, or what now? So I'm finding myself in this condition. This is what is. This is what is. Now what? Or what now? Where will we go from here? What will we choose from here? Now that things are the way they are, who do I want to be? How do I want to show up in life? What is that I wish for my life to be about from this moment on? Those are the real questions. Those are the important questions for us to ask. So let us have a moment of resetting, reclaiming our minds, coming to a full stop, coming back to the nowness of this moment, beginning again. So let us take a couple of deep conscious breaths. Breathing in, we might want to close our eyes. We might want to put a smile on our face, informing the body and the nervous system and all the cells and organs and actions and functions that right here, right now, all is well. Because that's really the vibration that we take on whenever we smile, that all is well. So we want to smile. And now we're invited to take that first deep and conscious breaths. Breathing in. And releasing it. Another deep breath in. And releasing. And from this space of no longer being hijacked by the mind, by the mental, emotional content, let us now steep ourselves. Let us now affirm, declare, and decree. And feel free to say after me. If you want to have your eyes closed, that's fine. If you want to have that smile linger on your face, that's fine. But I invite you to say, not after me, with me. All is well. Something wonderful is happening. Everything is working for my highest good. Perfect preparation and unfolding is always happening. And as we come back to this, as we reset in such a way, we get to move through life more and more untouched by whatever is going on in life. Not as victims of circumstances, not as leaves to the wind, but actually really steeped in peace, in love, in joy, in harmony and wholeness, regardless of what is going on. But we need to do it. This is the thing. We need to do it. Peace doesn't just happen any more than an individual wins the gold medalist or the gold medal by fluke. It takes years and years and years and years of practice, diligent, strenuous, disciplined practice to even qualify for the Olympics. And once there, they really need to peak their performance. if they're going to win that gold medal. And in exactly the same way, we need to peak our performance. We need to practice over and over and over again. Not just any old thing, but practice tools and techniques that really serve us, right? So that is the invitation for us, to observe our minds, to have a moment of introspection, reflection, contemplation, self-awareness. And what we're invited to look for is where we're holding on to questions such as why? Why is this happening? Why did that happen? Be it in our own lives, be it globally, be it locally, be it universally. But where are we holding on to, trying to figure out why something is happening? And the second part of the invitation, obviously, is for us to release and let go of that notion of needing to know, the belief that we have to know why, that we have to have it all figured out. And just trust that whatever is happening, it is something wonderful happening, and it is for the highest good. And so the question that we are invited to exchange the why question with is, now what? Now what? Where will I go from here? What will I do now? Now that we are no longer interested in why something is happening, what choice can I make? What choice can we make that moves us in the direction of the good that we wish to experience? The good that we wish to experience. So we're turning our attention away from things that may not be to our liking, to what we don't wish to experience, toward what we wish to experience, so that we can begin to navigate in that direction, move toward that. Cool. All right, so thank you so much as always for tuning in, for participating as we continue to set ourselves free. And as always, I bless our days, and I bless our ways in the full and absolute knowing. And feel free to say these words with me once again, in the absolute knowing that all is well, that something wonderful is happening, that everything is working for our highest good, that perfect preparation and unfolding is always happening. With much love.